Hello, my wonderful beings of love, light, and wisdom, and welcome to Ascend Feminine channel. My name is Nikki, and I create videos that allow higher states of consciousness, experience cosmic bliss, and live in states of deliciousness so you can allow an abundant, fulfilling, and fun lifetime. In today's video, we're gonna do a Q&A. I have 26 questions from the past weeks that haven't been answered yet. So we're gonna do half of them. We're gonna do 13 questions today, and then I'm gonna release a second video. So if your question's not answered today, it's gonna come up very soon. Number one is, what do you do to be more connected to help release stress? I don't experience stress anymore. If something moves my baby self, I call the ego, it will be just a simultaneous knowingness and understanding that it is just a distortion, an illusion, or a thought form that is not in alignment with highest self. That means that highest self immediately lets me know. It's like a voice, a subtle voice of wisdom that tells me this is not truth, because truth feels good. Truth doesn't make you feel stressed. Truth doesn't make you feel anxiety. So if anytime that you feel stress, anxiety, or contraction in your heart, or a less preferable emotion, be certain that it's just your emotional guidance system letting you know that whatever thought form that you are entertaining is just not in alignment with your highest self. It's not truth. So identify the thought form. It can be beneficial for you to do a meditation to bring the thought form into awareness. What am I feeling? What is this situation triggering in me? What is this catalyst trying to show me for me to transcend? And when you're able to identify the thought form, maybe a thought of, I'm not going to be able to achieve this. You are like, that makes me feel stressful because I see my desired manifestation, desired goal too far away from the present. I see it into the future, and it creates a sort of stress. Maybe you're living more in the future than in the present moment or in the past. So identify that you don't feel you're able to achieve this thing and say, it's a distortion, because in reality is, if I desire something, it means it already happened. Place your desires into the past. If it's something you want to achieve and you have a distortion that says, am I going to be able to do this? Maybe not. So it makes you feel less than, or makes you feel powerless. Then identify it, bring it into surface. Thank you so much, thought form, for showing me what is not in alignment with higher self. And remember, it is already done. If you have a desire, if you have a potentiality of something you want to see manifest, an unfoldment of a beautiful creation, it means you already did it. You're just dreaming the process of bringing that vision into manifestation in the linear. So let go of the thought form, create a positive opposite affirmation. I know I am capable. I know I already did it. I know I am completely worthy and deserving of this beautiful vision that I have. I am completely in the present moment, and I know that what I unfold moment to moment to moment is going to be in perfect alignment with my state of consciousness in the moment. So I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for everything I have allowed into my field in the moment. But I'm open to receive all the blessings that are yet to come towards me. That's your answer. Okay. I'm curious. What do you do when you feel overwhelmed? How do you step back and slow down and clear your mind? Thank you. Basically, kind of the same question. I never feel overwhelmed anymore. I just feel joy, ecstasy, excitement, being in the present moment, having fun to see which manifestations unfold in which time, in which timeline. And if I don't enjoy the manifestation, because it can happen that maybe I want something and then I have it and then I'm like, maybe I want something different. Then I have another vision, another creation for that unfoldment. So yes, I don't experience overwhelmed anymore. But what you can do is to make clear what is it that you want. I can tap into you and feel that maybe there's too many things you want to do, or you want to create this, or you want to be here, or you want to do that, or this person or the other, and it creates a sense of overwhelmness. How am I going to be able to create all of this at the same time? Slow down, take it easy, choose one thing that you want to manifest, the one that seems the easiest, so you build some confidence in your manifestation. Maybe you want to manifest an amazing career, a dream partner, and a lot of life force energy, money, abundance. Start by manifesting your dream career. Focus on just that one thing. And what can I do today to be closer to that vision? To execute action in alignment with my highest self, having fun, to see that vision manifest in my present moment. And focus on just that one thing. And then, whenever you see that manifestation come into fruition, be grateful for it. Be in the knowingness that you're able to create that and even much more, and go for another manifestation. If the overwhelm comes from any resentments or past trauma or inability to forgive yourself and others, then work on forgiving others. Work on releasing those attachments, energetic cords, or visions of the past, of things and events that weren't completely fulfilled. You're not in the past. The past is gone. The past is another timeline of existence, another parallel reality. Recreate your past. Forgive and understand and be kind to yourself that you were doing the best you could with the tools you had and the level of consciousness that you had in that moment. Same as all the other beings that you may think they wrong you. Nobody can wrong you, because you're forever untouched, forever free, forever blissful. That's the essence of your true beingness. Nobody could have ever harmed you. Everybody is just a mirror and a catalyst executing the role that was chosen before incarnation on earth to activate something in the other being, in the other projection of self. So from that point of realization, from that point of knowingness, forgive. Forgive your mirrors, forgive your other aspects of self, knowing that they were doing the best they could with their level of consciousness, and they were just providing you an opportunity for soul expansion and soul growth. Recreate your past, place another memory. Recreate your childhood. I had an amazing childhood, super loving parents. I had a lot of business success. I had a lot of ideas, and everything that I executed was awesome and was so fulfilling, and everything that I put my mind into, I achieved and I allowed into my reality. When you recreate your past with these scenes, with these imaginary, with these beautiful visions of all the things that you accomplished, you automatically create a different parallel reality in the past where you created this sort of scenarios for yourself, and that alters your present moment. And then your confidence changes, the way you see things change, because you know that you already accomplished everything you wanted to. You let go of the past, you let go of the things that didn't work out. As you see them as lessons, you don't mention them again. You create a different path for yourself, and then you focus on what is it that I want to create right now. What is my highest excitement what right now? What can I do right now to be in a high state of joy and bliss and my true self? That's your answer. Hello, beautiful being. Hello. Hope all is well. Perhaps some questions for your next Q&A. What's a download for you, and how do you receive it? Any special techniques? This is not the download. Download is just a thought form from a higher frequency. It's just a symbol calling it download or channeled message. It's actually just thoughts. Everybody's channeling. Everybody's having downloads every time. It's just the radio frequency that you wish to tune in the moment. If I empty my mind from my baby self, from my ego, and I open myself and I set an intention that I just want to receive energies and information from the highest good, from the highest self, from infinite intelligence, from the source of all knowingness, from the quantum field, then I'm opening up a portal in my crown, in my mind's eye, for myself, highest self, to receive these messages, to receive these codes, because I'm asking for it. Like the version of myself that was channeling from the Council of Nine. I started receiving messages from them. I asked where is this message coming from? Empty my mind, Council of 9, and then I kept asking questions, and I trust in everything I wrote. I started attracting people that were giving me confirmation of all the material that was pretty similar from the one I was receiving, and it was the Pleiadian Council of 9, so that it gave me confirmation. You're always having downloads, you're always channeling something, but set the intention, what do you want to channel? And trust. Ask questions, empty your mind, ask something that is really in alignment with something you really want to execute, something that's going to bring high joy, not only for you, but for others, to be service to others. So your intentions are rooted in the heart. Where your intentions are rooted in the heart, you open up the portal for even higher truths and infinite intelligence to use you as a vessel for you to channel this information. So ask a question, empty your mind, and trust in the messages you receive. Write it down. You can start automatic writing like this, just asking questions and write down what comes up. Keep asking questions and write down what comes up until it becomes smoothly, and you trust your writings more, and you're gonna start to differentiate that it's just a wiser voice. It's not the baby self, it's not the ego, it's the highest self, or whichever higher entity you wish to channel or ask for. Yes. How do you differ between guides or angels, but also higher self? For instance, now I'm being led, and the feeling is that my highest self points my direction, intuition, but I also know my long-gone grandpa is with me. Would you call him my angel? How do these concepts interact with me and each other? Thank you. A beautiful question. Higher self, you have many higher selves. It's just different versions of you in future timelines of existence. Let's say I have a higher self in the Pleiadians, I have a higher self in the Sirius, I have a higher self as a gray being, I have a higher self beyond the veil of all existence, and I have my highest self that is my oversoul, which where all these higher selves in different densities of existence come from, like if it was a pyramid, that's how I see it, and then it's me right now in the present moment. But this version of myself is the higher self of an old version of myself, and I'm giving her information of how to reach this level of consciousness. So you have many higher self existing simultaneously in this quantum field. So yes, that would be your higher self, and you can have also the highest self, the oversoul, and you can say, I want to connect with just the infinite intelligence of my highest, most ecstatic timeline of enlightenment, for example, and then you connect with your oversoul. And you can also have angels, and yes, you can communicate with beings that have passed. If you wish to call upon your grandpa, upon anybody else who have passed away, that you can call your angel. Whenever you place your awareness on them, instantly that being, if they are not reincarnated and they choose to fulfill another mission and come back to Earth or to another planet, then of course they're going to be able to place their awareness on you and send you unconditional love, send you healing, send you information and guidance. And that's another way of channeling information. And in that moment, you can even feel a presence around you, see some lights, feel some goosebumps. You will know, and you can also ask and do automatic writing from these beings and channel that information or the messages that your grandpa wants to give you. So yes, both exist, both are completely possible, and that's a wonderful question, and that's a beautiful experience. I'm so grateful you shared that with us. Okay. Hi Nikki, are there any books you would recommend or that maybe made an impact on you early on in your journey? I just read an incredible one on Mary Magdalene and want to dive into the next great book. Actually, I just did a video on the latest book I've been reading called Autobiography of a Yogi. I'm gonna link it here. And it's pretty interesting, but you asked early on my journey all the David R. Hawkins collections, starting by Letting Go, and then Power versus Force, then Transcending Levels of Consciousness. All of his material is amazing. He's my favorite teacher of enlightenment, and he has such a beautiful way to express self-realization because it's not just through feelings. He was a doctor, so he uses also concepts and mentalization to explain the levels of consciousness. So you can actually have some facts. Some people like scientific facts or proof of what they are experiencing. So that's an amazing example. All the books also of the Love One, it's channeled material from Ra being 8 density beings that channeled a lot of wisdom of how we're all here in evolving through densities of existence, how we go through different archetypes and we decide to be service to self or service to others, how everything is a catalyst. They talk about sexual energy, a lot of really interesting information to know how the universe works. And you're gonna see when you read those books, it's really, really high type of language, because it's not human. It's not possible that a human would have written all that. It's just really interesting, and maybe sometimes when you read through it, you don't really understand it, but you are clearly feeling the energies, you're downloading the codes. So yes, I would say all the Love One collection and David R. Hawkins books as well. Okay. ¿Hablas español? Sí, and a lot of people have been asking me to make Spanish videos because that's actually my first language. But I've been so used to speaking English for probably 4 years now, just for jobs that I used to have before, for business that I created. When I went to my 12-step group was also in English. Like all of my group of friends, even in Panama, speak English, so I never use Spanish. Pero sí, me encantaría poder compartir más información y videos con ustedes en español para las personas que no entienden inglés y que les gustaría activar niveles altos de conciencia y energías vibratorias altas para poder vivir una vida más plena, feliz y abundante. That was my little Spanish rant. So yes, I'll make some videos in Spanish. It may be interesting to see how the Spanish community responds to these teachings. Okay. How to cure depression? Well, depression is just a lot of suppressed emotions, suppressed thought forms, suppressed resentments that haven't been brought into surface. So your body is just full of all these contractions. I would say the first step is asking a question and acknowledging them. We could do a session, and if you feel comfortable, you can bring those thought forms into surface, and I can tap into them and see if you need to go through a process of releasing energetic cords, if it's deeper than that, and it's best for you to seek for medical support or attention. Sometimes it has to do with hormone imbalancing and also food. So maybe check your diet, check your energy levels. It's holistic to check how to cure depression, but I don't see it as something you need to cure. It's just a distortion. It's something that is not in alignment with higher self. And it also can come from past lifetimes. So you can have a past life regression. I can also suggest you a person that's really good at that. So that way, instead of going through all these processes or releasing energetic cords, and yeah, something that may take a long time to allow into your beingness, you can actually remember past lives and have an instant download or an instant realization and be like, oh, actually these were a bunch of illusions, and you can lift the veil and see through them and be completely present, because the essence of what you are is never depressed, it's never sad, it's never angry. It's forever in unconditional love and peace. So just be certain that anything that makes you feel contracted, anything that's a less preferable emotion or thought, it just means that it's not in alignment with your higher self. It's not in alignment with truth, because truth feels good. Truth expands you. Truth gives you goosebumps. Truth makes your heart shine. But sometimes you may need someone to hold space for you. That's why I suggested the session, or to also check the food you eat. So make sure that it also supports the allowance of you to release these thought forms and you feel energetic. Because you need to work with your energetic body, your physical vessel, and your emotional body all together for you to allow higher states of beingness. Hi. Manifestation. How do you know it will work? This is something that you need to know it before seeing it. If you ask yourself, how do I know it will work? Then it will never work. You need to trust it. You need to set an intention, and you need to take an action, a state in that knowingness of that intention with the emotion that it is done and you're completely worthy and deserving of it, and take a positive action in the allowance of that manifestation, and then surrender and say, I know it is done. I know it already happened. I know if I had the desire to allow this into my timeline, into my reality, my present moment, it is because there is a version of myself that is already experiencing all these blessings, all these manifestations. So you need to be in that 100% knowingness. And start with something small, something really small that you want to manifest. Maybe seeing a friend, maybe having a cup of coffee in your favorite coffee shop, something small. So you start trusting that you are the creator. You're the one infinite creator, and anything you wish to see manifest, you can have. But to build that knowingness and that confidence, if you start with something small and then little by little increase your manifestations, you will increase your knowingness. And then it's just going to be easier and easier and easier. The better it gets, the better it gets. Did you speak on guilt? In the guilt we get to have when we are very happy and fulfilled. If you feel guilt as you are allowing higher states of consciousness, as you are allowing higher manifestations, as you feel happy, and then you get a sense of, this is weird, because you're used to suffering, you're used to pain, you're used to not getting the things you want, and then you start feeling guilt, then recognize that that is a pattern of self-sabotage. The moment you start feeling guilt, it's like, oh, I'm not worthy of this. It's because you're doing a quantum leap. You're doing a quantum jump. You're finally allowing a higher state of existence. You're finally manifesting the timeline of your dreams with the things that you have always wanted. So don't sabotage yourself. Trust. And when you feel that guilt, say, I surrender. I surrender. Thank you so much, hologram of existence, for showing me what I need to transcend. I surrender guilt. I surrender guilt. I surrender guilt. I surrender guilt. Am I willing to surrender guilt? I surrender guilt. Am I willing to surrender guilt? I surrender guilt. And then say to yourself, I am completely worthy and deserving of all the manifestations that I have projected into my reality. I am completely worthy and deserving of all the gifts that I have allowed and for all the blessings that are yet to come. Just because of being me, just because of the essence of who I am. Surrender the guilt. Doesn't matter what happened before, the past is gone. It's not you. You are just divine perfection of beauty, of unfoldment of every moment to moment to moment. And there is no reason to not feel worthy and good enough of all the good things that you start manifesting into your reality. Enjoy them instead of being like, oh, this is weird. Why is this happening? Why am I feeling so good? Why am I feeling so floaty? Why am I getting what I want? Be like, this is not weird. This is my new normal. This is my new normal. And you're going to get used to feeling good. Amazing. How do I release nightmares from trauma? Well, think about what are the thought forms that are leading to those nightmares. Sometimes it's a message. It's your higher self feeling the release. It's your higher self telling you in the moment you're entertaining thought forms that are not in alignment with higher self. It's a warning. It's wake up, something that's shaking you. Look at this. You haven't released this. You're still subconsciously repeating the same thought forms. Write them down. Identify them. Which are the thoughts that are creating this trauma? Write down your dream and create a sort of permission slip. Maybe you write down all those traumas, you write down the dream, so you bring awareness to it and then burn it. Go somewhere outside and burn it and say, I release these traumas. I release these visions. I release these nightmares, and I only allow for the good to come into my field. Do future self journaling. Start writing down the lifestyle or life of your dreams as if it was already in the past. So you first bring those traumas into awareness. You burn them as a symbol or do something that makes you feel that you release. You can say, I release you, but if you do something in the linear physical, you may trick your higher self more like, now she actually believed it. So the manifestation will come faster. And then write down all the things that you wish to experience in your life in past tense. What is your perfect day looks like? I woke up, I got out of bed, I danced myself into the bathroom, I brushed my teeth so happily knowing that I had a wishful and fulfilling day ahead. I had the best coffee. I woke up with the loving partner of my dreams. I was doing the work that I loved doing. I was in this beautiful beach house. I went out and I saw the palm trees and the ocean, and I'm just making things up, but Choose your desired reality and then write it down as if it already happened in the past tense. And then the dreams that you're gonna start having at night, and read that every morning and every night. You're gonna start dreaming about that because you're gonna reprogram your mind. As you release the past subconscious thoughts, you're gonna imprint new thought forms that are gonna be higher vibration, and then the reality that you're gonna see is gonna be in complete match alignment of that vision. But just have 100% knowingness that if you keep repeating it, I did that for years. For like 2 years, I had my dream reality, the one that I am experiencing now, and I read that every morning and every night until I saw it manifest in the linear. Experiencing so much joy. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, I allow, I receive, I allow. I call this the God state. It happens when you're just so connected with higher self that you're just experiencing God consciousness. So everything seems so silly, so dreamlike, so surreal. It's like the board's fully lifted and you are in your highest truth. And then everything is just so joyful, and I just can't even put it into words. It's like my heart is beaming rays of energy outside of myself right now, towards the screen, towards you, blessing you, giving you all this love. Okay, let's go on. How is it possible to decide to go in 3D consciousness when it feels like a cage? Why would you want to go to 3D consciousness? You're actually releasing 3D consciousness. Probably the question wasn't worded properly. I don't know. How is it possible to decide to go in 3D consciousness when it feels like a cage? No, you're allowing 5D consciousness. You're releasing 3D consciousness. And anything that feels like a cage, you won't want to be there. Why you want to feel impression? Why you want to feel contraction? You want to feel in abundance. You want to feel in freedom. You want to feel in joy. You want to feel in alignment. So be certain that by having the intention of releasing 3D consciousness, you're allowing more of 5D consciousness. What is that? Knowing that you are an infinite being, knowing that you are the light, knowing that you are spirit, you're not the physical vessel, you're so much more than just this body. This body is just the avatar that you chose to have here on earth. You have a divine blueprint or a dharma that you came here, a precious gift that is your 1% uniqueness. 99% you are unconditional love and light, and you have 1% of your divine uniqueness expression that you came here to execute, and you're completely worthy and deserving of executing this expression of self. You're here to be service to others. You're here to bring light and help your brothers and sisters of Gaia to cross the bridge from that 3D consciousness into 5D consciousness. You're here to speak your truth. You're here to let go of limiting beliefs. You're here to live from your heart. You're here to give abundantly because you know that what you give in abundance comes to you 10 times multiplied. These are some of the concepts and terms from this 5D consciousness of unconditional love. And you all have access to it just by having the intention of breaking out of the matrix, breaking out of the cage of society, of the norm. What society? We're creating an enlightened society now, but the past version of society. I'm gonna be able to continue. You are 5D consciousness. The version of myself that was allowing 5D consciousness set up alarms in her phone every hour. I am in 5D consciousness. I am in 5D consciousness. I am 5D consciousness. I am in my 5D timeline of existence, of complete abundance, of infinite manifestation, of instant manifestation, infinite beingness, unconditional love. Everything just manifested right now through synchronicities and divine unfoldment. Put alarms in your phone and be certain that by having the intention of breaking from the 3D matrix and crossing into a more light density of existence, you are allowing that already. Beautiful. Quick question. Any good books about interesting awakening or interesting enlightenment facts of life? As I said, Autobiography of the Yogi, it's the one I'm reading now. Enlightenment, all the David R. Hawkins books, The Law of One, and right now I'm reading the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. David R. Hawkins in Transcending Levels of Consciousness, in the chapter that talks about allowing peace, enlightenment, he says that one of the books that calibrates, and if you check his scale of consciousness, which states, I have a video about that too as well, I can link it here, it states which are the levels of consciousness and how you transcend from one level to another, he calibrates, and the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali calibrates at 600, so that caught my attention, and I was like, I'm gonna dig there and see what resonates with me, and for now, everything that I have been reading has been amazing, so maybe you would want to check that one out. Yes, for now, those ones. How do you initiate contact with aliens? You just ask, I want to have UFO contact, I want to have ET contact, can you please show me? I'm ready for it. And that's it. Set the intention. They're gonna come to you through your dreams, through messages, through automatic writing, through hunches. You're gonna be like, I just got a new download, new thought form. This seems interesting. This is not usually something I was used to tell to myself or something I used to come up with. This must be a wiser voice, a higher consciousness. You can read the Law of One books, so you can start tapping into channeled material. Suzanne Lee also have great books. When I'm in these states, it's like even hard to come up with words. She has great books about a new home. It's Pleiadian perspective of 5D consciousness. You can also tap into all these ET materials, so you become more familiar with, oh, this is real, this is actually happening, people are having all these channeling experiences. And then just surrender and be certain they're gonna contact you. I'm thrilled for them to actually come in the physical. I have said many times, like, I'm not ready to see you in the physical, like, right now here, because I may freak out. But it may be fun, hey? If I would be with all of you and we were hanging out and we're all like setting the intention in a circle, I wouldn't mind. I just feel like if there's more people, then it would be funner and I wouldn't be like, oh my god, this is too much. And it has to be during the day, not at night. But jokes aside, just ask for it and it will come. For me, it started with mind's eye visions. I started seeing them in my mind's eye. I saw the colors, I saw the mothership, I saw everything. I went into the mothership, astral projecting, astral traveling. And I felt all the emotions. I cried of joy when I met my galactic family because the whole room started vibrating. And I was like, wow. And all of these things are possible for you too. So yes. Do we have multiple lives? How do I know where I will end up after this life? Yeah, we have multiple lifetimes of existence playing out simultaneously. Right now, while you're in this lifetime, you may have another lifetime as an ET in another planet. You might have another lifetime as in an ancient civilization like Lemuria or Atlantis in past version of timeline of Earth. You may have a future version of yourself in a timeline where Earth is already enlightened, or everything is just so different, so much more vibratory state and high frequency. And all of these lifetimes are happening simultaneously. You have a lifetime beyond the veil of all existence where you are complete nothingness, just an enlightened being resting in just awareness. You're just pure awareness of love and light, just like And all of this is happening simultaneously. So how cool is that? You can tap into all these timelines just by awareness alone and try to download information or tap into the information of what are these versions of yourself or higher selves doing, and receive messages for your mission now on Earth. And the last question was, how do I know where I will end up after this life? Well, it will depend on your contracts, in your agreements. Like, do you wish to allow enlightenment for this lifetime and then come back? Or do you wish to keep creating something, and maybe when you decide to exit this physical vessel, you go out in your energy form, and then you're like, oh, this is cool, so much peace, so much bliss, I enjoy this, but I want to come back because I want to have another manifestation and I want to create something more. So you place your awareness into reincarnating, and then you come into a different existence and you play the different scenario. So why would you need to know where you're going to end up after this lifetime? I think the best thing you can allow for yourself is living your highest excitement moment to moment, to unfold your dharma, unfold your mission, that one thing that excites you the most, and be the best at it in this lifetime, so you can allow higher unfoldments, higher catalysts, higher soul expansions, higher levels of consciousness, so you can transcend lifetimes of limitation, lifetimes of prior karma, and you can allow the higher state possible and the creations that are going to make your soul be fulfilled in this lifetime, so then you can choose. Do you want to come back? Do you want to create something else? Are you pleased with all your creations and you allowed enlightenment in this lifetime and you're like, you know what, now I'm happily just going to exit the body and be formless and be in the God consciousness and beyond God consciousness, and just, that's it? Or you want to play? For me, I want to play. I want to keep creating. I want to keep playing. Not yet. I don't want to leave. That's your answer. Wonderful. This was a short Q&A. I love it. Maybe keeping it this short. And thank you, all of you, for submitting your questions. I'm going to reply the other 13 questions in my next Q&A. This was really fun. I tried to do it in the best of my ability, even with these high states of bliss. Right now I feel itchy like all over my body, because when I allow more light, or when I feel this, it's like a feathery type of feeling on all my bodies, my energetic body, my emotional body, and you maybe can see that my mouth moves a bit differently. My body also gets itchy, and I feel like the atoms of my beingness are like vibrating. That's how it feels. To try to put it into words. I'm like holding a baby. Is it me? Yes, more of this I allow, yes. Yes, well, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next inspiration. Sending you all my love.